dhub Challenge. Welcome to the dhub Challenge.
This show is a fierce competition between teams of software developers vying for an award of $350,000 and a chance to bring their tech solutions to life.
The Ministry of Digital Transformation has paired developers with government agencies to create software solutions to benefit their clients.
Each week, 3 teams of coders will pitch their solutions to experts.
All competitors are members of the Ministry's Developers Hub, or the dhub community.
You must be 18 and over, a citizen and a resident in Trinidad and Tobago to join the community.
On the dhub, members get access to training, incubators, accelerators, learning opportunities, and digital tools. And they get to take part in the dhub Challenge.
Our Developers Hub project builds on the creativity of our people. What we are doing is pulling together people, like-minded people who are developers, and we're starting with software developers at the start to create software that will support the needs of government, support the needs of the private sector, and eventually create products that are exportable. So the concept here is, can we create an environment where developers can create the capability to go from idea to producing viable products that could augment the system the government put in. To do that, we also have a technology site, and the technology site is an actual website, it's an actual hub, so we call it the Developers Hub. So that platform is the primary interface between us and the community at large. And we have 15 people who are now awarded and now actively working on solutions. So we're training developers not only to take an idea, express it as a proof of concept, pitch it to a buying audience. One of each of those 5 will win. They will then get an implementation award, and they'll produce a minimum viable product which will go into production. This is an initiative to drive the digital economy. This is about growing its contribution to GDP. So we're hoping that this becomes an alternative source of foreign exchange for the country and keeping the intellectual property that we create, which is accrued value, local.
Want to track your passport easier? Today's episode is for you. Let's learn more.
The Immigration Challenge requires developers to make a solution that tracks passports from application to delivery. Have you ever had to keep calling or emailing the passport office to check if your passport is ready? A passport can take up to 6 weeks to be completed. A tracking app would definitely be a time saver, and not just for members of the public who have to phone or email to find out when their passports will be ready. There are between 150 and 175 inquiries a week. Immigration officers have to interrupt their production process to respond to document status inquiries, which contributes to the further slowing down overall batch production times. Also, if the inquiry comes with a particularly irate tone, that may add to the officer's stress on the job and impact job satisfaction. The solution should enable the passport applicant to get brief, useful, and timely updates about the readiness or availability of their passports.
Let's meet our panel of judges for today's challenge.
Shaka Subero is the Government Relations Manager for Digital Trinidad and Tobago Limited. Shaka is a career marketing and business development executive with over 15 years of international commercial experience at multinational institutions spanning the government and state enterprises, fast-moving consumer goods, and telecommunication sectors across 10 countries within the Caribbean and Latin America.
Richard Thomas is a systems analyst in the Immigration Division's Information Technology Department, with duties in the spheres of systems administration and maintenance, as well as database administration. He also has a background in web design and administration. Richard holds bachelor's and master's degrees from the UE and Andrews University, Michigan, respectively. He believes the dhub Challenge represents an important pioneering step in helping to further build ICT capacity within Trinidad and Tobago. Lisa Maria Alexander is CEO and Chief Strategist of the Leadership Experience. She is a certified chartered director and a gender consultant in the Caribbean on behalf of the Inter-American Development Bank. Lisa Maria was recently certified as a balanced scorecard professional. She has degrees in industrial management and advanced marketing.
For today's challenge, let's meet our first team of developers.
Virtuoso Force Innovations member Anand Singh hails from Chaguanas and says he had no plan to be a software developer, he just fell into it. His teammate convinced him to enter the challenge, and he did it to benefit other citizens. The second team member of Virtuoso Force Innovations is Carisha Stewart, originally from Cuba and now living in Chaguanas. Carisha embraced the dhub challenge as a good opportunity to showcase the ability and potential of local developers. Carisha says that coding is her way to bring ideas to life.
Let's check in with our developer team before they make their pitch.
I've been a software developer for a long time, working locally in the industry, and excited to get this challenge going.
I'm also a software developer. With our challenge, it's aligned to what I do on a daily basis, so I'm also excited to put what I know into practice. Yes, I'm feeling a bit nervous, but I think it's kind of overridden by the excitement as well. So
I have a ball right here. Sure.
I used to play video games when I was younger, and I just knew that coding was linked to video games in some way. I didn't know how, but I just knew that. That was like my starting point.
Well, she did develop a game one time, so I think we both at different times saw, oh, we have this, we know the solution for this. Just by the nature of it, it kind of reflects what we do on a daily basis. So it kind of, we wheelhouse together.
I like moving from having an idea to the reality of a tangible solution. And the process throughout that may be stressful at times, but just knowing that you're trying to achieve something and in the midst of it, you're stretching yourself and you're learning and reaching to the end now where you reach the finish line where this thing is working, that is always such a great feeling to say, I did something,
Okay, let's introduce our first team for this challenge, Virtuoso Force Innovations.
Hi, judges.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Your time starts now.
Thank you.
So we are Virtuoso Force Innovations, and we're thrilled to be here today. I am Carisha Stewart. With me I have...
Hi, I'm Anand Singh. I've been a software engineer for over 15 years.
So from our analysis of this challenge and feedback from our data collection, here's the problem. In time-sensitive scenarios, citizens do not have an easy, accessible method for passport updates. Also, in a digital era, depending solely on a human representative is counterproductive. And finally, if a staff member has to stop their job to deal with a customer, this can delay business processes. So now that we have defined the problem, to counteract it, our solution at its core has this guiding principle: to meet the customers where they are at. As such, we built an omni-channel notification system. What this simply means is we have multiple channels for notifications such as SMS, WhatsApp, email, and this system is built such that we can easily add more channels later on. We also have a user portal where you can simply input your application ID or scan a barcode from your application receipt. And here our solution is great for those of us who do not want to download yet another mobile application to use once every 10 years. Now, for the customer to have a good experience, it means that there must also be good business infrastructure and practices for the staff. And as such, we have developed the PIM protocol, which stands for Process Integration Module. And the PIM protocol also provides a dashboard with process insights to help analyze efficiency of business processes. So this is what we are asking. Choose us to help you. Use us to maximize our wealth of experience in messaging systems to build out a quality product for the population of Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you.
So we're going to head straight into our demo. Great.
We'll just introduce you to this persona. Her name is June. She's preparing for a work conference in 2 months and realizes her passport has expired. She swiftly books an appointment at the passport office. She completes the renewal process and learns that she can receive updates on her passport through WhatsApp, which she uses every day. She opens up WhatsApp and scans the contact information. Then she will receive an immediate update confirming her application is accepted. Right, so it says accepted and it should be mailed out within 15 days. But time goes on, she receives a few notifications earlier, but she grows anxious about her passport status. So she recalls that she can get updates by messaging the Immigration Division via WhatsApp. So she sends a message asking when she'll get her passport back and receives a prompt response saying it's in the mailroom and will be sent out. And finally, she receives a message that her passport is out for delivery and TT Post delivers her passport shortly after. And finally, she receives a message that her passport is out for delivery and TT Post delivers her passport shortly after and bringing relief and satisfaction to June.
So Thomas recently renewed his passport. He didn't sign up for alerts, don't know why. But now he's wondering, where's my passport? So he does a quick Google search and finds Travel Tracer, our solution. And armed with his receipt ID, he logs in to Travel Tracer to find his passport's journey in a timeline. Thomas decides to get notification, so he accesses his profile. He sets email as his preference because it's simpler. He enters his email address and other contact information and updates his setting. Thomas sees an email notification pop up on his phone. It's coming from Immigration Office, so he checks it. His passport is now out for delivery, and it's coming in with TT Post. Subsequently, we have PIM Protocol, which is our low-code platform that we designed to allow Immigration Division to manage passport applications, glean insights about the data, as well as customize the underlying process. All the current open applications, you can see what state they each are in, whether they're accepted 34, processing 53, or mailroom 25, and you could go to see for all the applications. In the second row, we have a list of durations for each application in each stage. Below, you see a nice visualization of incoming and outgoing messages. Incoming messages are in blue and outgoing in green. Interesting, again, because we have the data, we could ask the question, why is it in November and December there seems to be a little spike in incoming messages? Perhaps people traveling and they want to know, where's my passport? So again, you can find out that information. Maybe you need to hire additional staff or change things around a little bit. So because we're capturing all this data, we can use it to answer questions that we don't even know exist yet. So that would be great for us. We can register for alerts using our application. It can happen in several ways. A citizen can send a message, as we just saw, or a CSR can use our application, or we can even automate the process using our integration, which we will show in a few minutes. So here you enter the application ID and some contact information, as well as the channel of choice for the citizen. We're going to talk about the integration now. So meet Kevin. Kevin is an immigration officer and he's producing passport documents. Because of our application, he's happy that calls are reduced to him, as well as he's happy for the automation that happens. When he completes a passport, the passport issuing control system, PICS for short, is updated. And using the report generation module, we can export new applications so that our application can consume them. So I'm just going to show a quick sample of what it could look. This is not what it will be, but this is a report that it could be generated where the application ID is here. And if we say, okay, it's finished processing, we head into the mailroom. So we're going to talk about late applications. We mentioned it earlier. Again, you can navigate to late applications on the screen here, or we can add, because we wanted to ensure people have a quick access to the information, we instituted daily alerts for administrators. And this is where you can add an administrator to be alerted. Again, similarly, he can choose his channel for communication, SMS, WhatsApp, whichever. And so similarly, every day at around 10 a.m., and of course that can change depending on the needs, and a notification will be sent to all administrators showing showing the messages coming in.
Thanks, developers. Judges, any questions? We'll start with the challenge owner.
All right, nice presentation, Virtuoso. Just want to draw your attention to something that you stated earlier with regards to how the system functions in the background to alleviate any additional workload for the administrators or the passport production staff to have to deal with as far as pushing these alerts and so on. Could you just clarify that for me? Is it something that is automatic in terms of the alerts going through, or would there be a need to manually intervene to facilitate that forward push?
So I think so. What we've built is integration first platform. So the point of it is, at any point, a human, a machine, a robot could actually interact at any stage. So we have built a UI where updates can be manually added, but we also build integration points where we can add automation at any point in the process.
So it could be automated.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
2 questions for me. So, what would you say is the name of your application, your end-to-end solution? Is it Travel Traces? That's what it is?
We have, it's not an official registered company, but we have a company called Virtuoso Force Innovations, and that company represents us.
Right.
And the company created Travel Tracer, which is this solution, but in the background, what is the core, or what powers Travel Tracer is PIM protocol.
Right.
So we have 2 products here.
Right. So if that's the case, then my suggestion is that if you're putting forward a solution, right, you should be able to wrap everything into one.
Okay.
And then clearly distinguish between the 2.
Some good feedback for you.
Yeah, thank you.
My question was around usability and accessibility.
Yeah.
So could you speak to us a little bit about that? How, because the average passport holder is, there's no average, right? Anybody can apply. Tell us a little bit about that and how
I
you
think
consider it.
one of the things Carisha mentioned is we want to add the voice channel. I think voice is going to far-reaching and is ubiquitous. Everyone can just call and how to press a number on the telephone. So definitely for that, it will be a place to solve the problem.
Any further questions?
Just for me, just another question in terms of security.
Sure.
Because I noted early on where it is, you just put in the information. Is there like any sort of background 2-factor authentication happening with the actual users to make sure? Because again, passport information is a very sensitive sort of information. Is that considered or will be put into your solution?
We made choices based on the timelines to be able to demonstrate value to you guys.
Yeah.
So we've been building software for a long time. We know we have security, we have scalability, usability. We know about those things, but our intent was to kind of show you something immediately and pique your interest, so that you can give us the opportunity to do those things which we know how to do.
Thank you,
Okay.
Team Virtuoso, and all the best to you.
Okay,
Congratulations for getting thus far.
Yep.
And we really wish you the best going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Now, let's see what our judges have to say.
What did you think about the pitch?
I think the pitch was rather well done, quite fluid.
Right.
I think they tried to, I guess within the limited time frame, tried to touch on as many of the salient points as they could.
Yes.
I think some of the questions that we asked, to get greater insight into how things function. Yes. Some questions with regards to the automaticity of some of these processes. I got the sense that there might still be
correct. That was one of my questions.
Push things forward, so.
Right.
For me, as I said earlier on, regarding the branding and understanding it, and to really get what is the unique selling proposition that they put forward here.
You went out there, you did your best. So we just wait to see what's next for you.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us. Thank you. We feel good after the presentation. But weight is off my shoulder.
Being able to work on a problem that kind of addresses a lot of the population, for me, that has been something I wanted to do for a long time.
Coming out of this, I think we have an excellent solution, and I would love to see where this takes us next.
Is there anything that you all would want to share with up-and-coming developers? You can offer encouragement or recommendation or anything you want to share with them, part of your journey, perhaps?
Keep pursuing your dreams. Do not let failure stop you, but use failure as a stepping block to move to the next step in your journey.
Take charge of your learning process, read books, go to conferences, do challenges, and then I guess finally read The Pragmatic Programmer. Best book anyway.
The second team is
Christopher Mason of Picton in Laventille is the first Project Apollo member. He says he's trying to fix the issues of the world one line of code at a time. Christopher says that the dhub challenge is a good opportunity to improve his coding and to do that while getting financial income to support his family. Chad Kanhai from QREP completes Project Apollo. Chad says the dhub challenge is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to create a solution that will have long-term consequences for the country and its people. These issues force us to think outside the box, to develop creative solutions that can be scaled up while remaining user-friendly, he says.
Let's check in with our developer team before they make their pitch.
I chose this challenge because it seemed like the one that most complemented my skills. So I had initially applied for two, the liquor license challenge as well as the passport application tracking challenge. And we got through with the passport application challenge. But both to me, and when I was thinking about the possible solutions, they seem similar in terms of applying my skill set. So once the challenges started, I realized it might be helpful to get somebody else to help me. We could share up the workload. At that point, I just started a new job. So I am actually working with Chris. From being on the job with him, I got to know him, and he seemed like a good fit for matching my thought process. I gave him an idea, he came up with the other parts of it. I was front-end development, meaning how it looks to the public, and he was doing the back stuff, which is basically like the nuts and bolts, it's like the engine. Unfortunately, my partner was not able to attend today, so it's just me today. So I'm hoping I can be enough for both of us.
Judges, this next team is sure to blow us out of this world. Introducing Project Apollo.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Your time starts now.
Hi, judges. I'd like to introduce you to PasTrack, a revolutionary solution designed to streamline passport application tracking in Trinidad and Tobago. Our team is Project Apollo, and it is formed by myself, Chad Kanhai, and my partner, Christopher Mason. Our vision is to develop an innovative passport tracking solution that enables applicants to track their passport applications in real time. We are able to do this because we have a combined expertise in C++, HTML, and JavaScript, which makes us uniquely qualified to demonstrate our solution. So let's take a moment to understand the challenges with this issue. Every year, hundreds of persons apply for passports. Currently, tracking the application status involves manual methods leading to long wait times and uncertain statuses. This creates anxiety for applicants, as well as it burdens government officials with high call volumes. PasTrack offers a transformative solution. Imagine a user-friendly solution platform accessible from any browser. Applicants simply fill out intuitive forms to submit their information, and automated email and SMS notifications keep applicants informed every step of the way, eliminating the need to call for updates. And this empowers them, reducing wait time frustration and improves the overall experience. But it doesn't stop there. In real time, they can track their application via web-based browser in 4 clearly labeled steps: application received, processing, passport ready, and shipped. Now let's focus on the benefits for applicants. Fast Track provides transparency and peace of mind throughout the entire process. No more waiting on hold or wondering where their application is throughout the entire process. They have a convenient access to it anytime, anywhere, fostering trust and satisfaction. This isn't just good for applicants, it's good for government agencies. Fast Track significantly reduces call volume, freeing up staff to handle other tasks. The automated system saves on resources and improves overall efficiency, allowing for faster processing times and better service delivery. Ultimately, it enhances the government's image by offering a modern and efficient application process. Now, let's switch gears and talk about the proof of concept phase. The results of the proof of concept phase. We observed 2 noteworthy results. Firstly, we conducted tests on the automated notifications. The test users seamlessly received both types of notifications within a few seconds of scanning. And secondly, our POC testing revealed a notable decrease in applicants' inquiries. Fast Track enhances applicants' empowerment through self-service tools, indicating substantial strides towards operational efficiency. Our ask: to successfully implement Fast Track and bring its benefits to fruition, we seek the continued support of MDT, iGov, and the Ministry of National Security Immigration Division. This investment will be instrumental in empowering both citizens and Immigration Division. Fast Track has the potential to transform the passport application process for everyone involved. Let us help you eliminate frustration, save time, and improve efficiency. Now we'd like to turn to the demonstration of it.
Thank you.
So, Fast Track works simply by scanning a QR code at the station. So let's say that you are the station where the application has been received. At that station, you would have a QR code, and all it simply involves is to launch the application. Simply go to the designated URL, go to employee login, and then for your login, and you would go to the dashboard, the administrative dashboard. Simply go to scan the QR code, and that triggers the notification. It's a simple notification sending an email to you, as well as you have the SMS message being sent to the user, as you can see here. And that's basically the backbone of our system.
Thanks for your demo, Chad. Any questions?
Sure. Just a quick question with regards to the QR code and its part in triggering the alerts, at each stage, in terms of automaticity, right? Could you say a little something about how your system is set up to facilitate that?
Sure. So when the applicant, let's say they go to the sign-up page where they enter their email or their email and their cell phone number. Once they do that, they generate a QR code, which is sent back straight to the applicant by the end of the day, if not automatically. And that QR code is tagged specifically for the applicant.
Okay.
So when they go to their appointment, they carry the QR code with them. So that becomes them, in a sense. So at the stage, the officer would scan the QR code for the applicant as well as the stage. That combination triggers a notification.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Does it require any additional equipment on the side of the officer? I see you have a scanner. Right, so that's part of the solution.
Yes.
That scanners will, okay.
Yes.
I see that. And from the user side, this is a separate website, or it's part of the, what do you...
It can be integrated into the new e-appointment system that was launched recently.
Okay.
It can be integrated there, or it can be. It's entirely up to immigration.
Okay, I've got you.
Any special mechanisms for enhancing data security, enhancing or protecting the privacy of the data?
Yeah, so we again, once we move into the MVP stage, we will be backing the system with significant security measures because we would want to secure persons' data. Even though it's not much we're requiring from them, we still would back their system, especially the database where it's stored.
So, just a question for me. So the QR code comes back to the receiver?
Yes.
Right. As you said, you're putting additional security measures to ensure that QR code will not be mimicked.
Yes.
Okay. Understood.
Does this solution offer any impact on or I should say, speak to us about the impact on the time frame? You talked about some of the bit of the value proposition, but talk to us about how you walk us through the sort of time frame between me applying and I guess at the back end, the expectation that the officer will be able to give this real time. You mentioned real time.
So the entire development of this was we wanted to make sure that this system would operate parallel to anything that is currently with immigration, is that it should have minimal effect on the officers. So all it literally requires is just to scan the 2 QR codes, and that's all that's required from immigration.
Okay. Any further questions?
No.
Nothing at this point.
Nothing at this point.
I would very much like to thank you for your presentation. I think it gave us some clarity on what you guys are proposing, and I really want to congratulate you for making it this far and wish you all the best for what is to come.
Thank you.
Very well done today.
How do our judges feel? Let's check in.
So, gentlemen, that was quite a simple presentation.
Yeah.
But simple is not bad.
Yeah.
Simple is not bad. What are your thoughts?
I still had some concerns about what again drives that automatic effect.
Right.
When it comes to getting the alerts to the applicant.
Right.
Okay. I did see in this presentation some reference again to reducing, manual labor it seemed to be
increasing efficiency in the efficiency.
Yeah, increasing efficiency with regards to passport production on the part of the production officers and what have you. But it did not quite didn't hit home entirely, with the demonstration, with the demo. I mean, yes, in the basic pitch, but the demo didn't quite drive that home to me. Yeah.
Right. Shaka, what about you? What do you thought about his pitch?
No,
communication.
The pitch was on point. I mean, I captured it from start to finish, and as I said, what I liked about it is that he had a name. Mm-hmm. And he was able to follow through with the name all the way through and, be able to kind of be able to market that. And that is one of the key things when you're selling a solution like this. You must be able to kind of be able to take this all the way through from end to end. And I was able to follow the presentation. But from the pitch perspective, I was able to get it succinct, very to the point.
Good, and I thought he handled himself pretty well on the questions.
Yes, correct.
With confidence. So I think we definitely have something that we can reflect on when we're scoring.
Yes,
right.
Correct.
So I would commend them on that.
Well, feeling better.
Yes, much better.
Much better. So you feel that what you presented out there did you and your team justice?
Yes, I think it did. The Q&A was actually the best part for me because I know the system inside it. It took a lot of hard work. Our parents were very much supportive. Thanks, Christopher, you were able to write a good portion of the code, and I hope I did the team proud. So if we were to win, we would definitely continue with development, and then we would hopefully start our own company.
Let's meet our third and final team of developers for this challenge.
Christopher Keller of Antech is originally from Diego Martin and now resides in Aranguez. In addition to his coding endeavors, he says he leads a double life. As a farmer, for the past 8 years, he has owned and operated a flourishing 15-acre farm in Wallerfield, cultivating fruit and vegetables. His farming escapades are as tech-savvy as his coding exploits.
Let's check in with our developer team before they make their pitch.
My name is Christopher Keller. I'm a developer. I've been a developer for over 30 years. Antech Team 2 is the name of our group. And so it was myself and another guy. And each of us chose a challenge. So this was the one that I chose. Initially, although I knew about the challenge, I wasn't really interested in entering, right? But my partner, he insisted that we try the challenge. He was able to convince me to do it. And I ended up in the finals. I enjoy solving problems, right? Coming up with as much solutions as possible for a problem and then finding the best one. I really have to congratulate the ministry for putting on this event because as a developer for so many years, it's very difficult for individuals to be able to get the big contracts, in terms of with government or even in the private sector as well. Right? What normally happens is that you either have to work for somebody or one of the big players. So for the average developer out there, even though you might have a lot of talent, it's difficult to get in unless you work for somebody, right? I would really love to get that opportunity, to ease some of the problems that the public have in Trinidad and Tobago. And I think that the solution I have come up with, it could be used by other ministries as well.
Judges introducing our final team, Antech Team 2.
Hello, judges.
Welcome.
Hi.
Your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Chris Keller. I'm here to represent Antech Team 2, our proof of concept. Our team is comprised of 3 senior developers with diverse skills, have worked on a number of different projects internationally and locally, in the public as well as the private sector. What is the problem? Well, the problem is the immigration office receives about 175 passport inquiries per week. And that causes an interruption in the production process, which gets the immigration officers upset, and that could result in further reductions in production, right? So we have a vicious cycle going on there. There are also email notifications as well, right? Phone notifications, text, SMS, WhatsApp, etc. In terms of the inputs now, well, if we are allowed to integrate with the PIC system, there are a number of different ways that we can integrate, right, based on prior experience. In terms of the processing, we need to be able to tell, when the document is passing through the production department and where it's reached, right? You could use a scanner or something. But what really is a proof of concept? When we develop it, sometimes we get lost. So you need to remember, what is a proof of concept? A proof of concept is supposed to be an experiment, where you look to find the best technology for a solution. Right? So we look at all different options and alternatives and come up with the best. So for our solution, we have to have a hypothesis, of course, because every proof of concept needs a hypothesis. You must have something that you're trying to get. Right. The success criteria for our hypothesis was to make sure there was security, automation. So you don't want to give the immigration officers too much work to do. Right? Scalability and accuracy. And we decided to use OCR RFID as the technology. So that's the end of my
You can proceed to your demo.
Okay. Right, so according to challenge requirements, right, so I'm logged in as a normal user now. So this is like any applicant. And once they come in, they would be able to see exactly where the process is reached, right? So for this particular applicant here, if I were to just change their from issued, for example, just change it back to accepted and save this here, right? What would happen is it would automatically send a notification in terms of the SMS and all these different things, right? All of them using third parties that basically just to get what we want. The issue is what happens if we don't get access to the PIC system. We wanted to offer alternatives and options because the immigration department will be concerned in terms of the security of the information, people's personal information and that sort of thing. So we wanted to create a system that could work without having to integrate with PICs as well. At least give that option, right? So the first experiments, yes, we wanted to be able to use the application receipt to extract the data from. Right? The problem was the fact that it's black print on blue paper. The size, because you recommended required resolution for OCR to work properly, is about 300 dpi, and this was just almost on the boundary of that. Right? The camera and scanners, well, we do have high quality cameras and scanners, so just thought to see if we could get it done with just a normal, normal video camera. Right? So we wanted to test three OCR engines, look at different types of input. Whether we could take a photograph of this, whether we could use a scanned image or PDFs. We decided to use RFID instead of a barcode scanner because barcode scanners need line of sight, right? With RFID, there are a number of advantages that could be used. You think about it, they're very cheap. They cost about less than 5 cents US, all the way up to $2, $3, depending on the amount of functionality you want with it. We wanted to be able to associate each RFID tag has a unique identification number. Right? We wanted to be able to associate that number with the application ID. Right? So we wanted to be able to write to the stickers, right? You can also write to the stickers. So when you read, you not only get the ID, but also the application ID, right? Which is the figure that we need for processing, right? Right. So we need to be able to write it. Now, this scanner, the desktop reader here, only reads it, doesn't write it. Okay. Right? So we had to test to see if which stickers could write. Even though we did a lot of work in terms of the images, taking images, deskewing them, doing all sort of pre-processing, right? I think we did over 50 different experiments with changing different parameters to see what we need best. PDF scans ended up being the fastest, and it's also you need some more to work for the immigration officers. I have some receipt samples that I created here. Right. I have a file with about 20 receipts from the sample that you gave us, right? This year, you can see that it got the sample of populated receipt paper, it got all of the text was extracted. Even this tiny text at the bottom here was able to extract because of pre-processing that we did to get the best output from it, right? As the end of my demonstration, you don't have any questions?
So, thank you so much for that and for going through. I'll start with the challenge, Ona.
Okay, good presentation. See, you put a lot of effort into that. Just have a question you seem to have put a lot of thought into creating a mechanism that would limit the amount of labor that, additional labor that the immigration staff would have to put into, aiding in the processing of these documents, pushing alerts and so on. All right. You pulled up a web interface just now to show us like a sort of progression of the passport application on screen for the person who would have applied for it. Is there anything in that progression to support a situation in which an application is in a pending state? Because
yes, I don't know if you saw it, but one of the states that are available is problem. I can pull it up for you if you want to see. But that is one of the states that when you drop down, problem, as well as there was another slide which shows the progression with the immigration officers, right? And problem was at the bottom. There is a state in case there's some sort of problem, some missing data, supporting documents, whatever, right? So it's catered for in the system. Okay.
I am very much impressed in terms of, for well thought out. I saw the analysis, I saw logical deduction all the way through. Because from a layperson's point of view, I mean, these are some of the things that you originally, and you summarize it into those 4 buckets, application received, processing, out for delivery, and also being sent out. So, I mean, I have to say very well thought out presentation.
They say the devil is in the details, and you spend some time in the details. Talk to me about random. I saw the guy waving going on vacation,
right?
And that's me.
Yeah.
So talk to me about what are some of the considerations you thought about for that user, for the person who maybe not as tech savvy, they know where to go, but tell me a little bit of the thinking behind that.
Right. That's why I'm more concentrated on things like email, or text messaging, those sort of things that the older folks like myself would be more familiar with, right? As opposed to WhatsApp, and I mean those are other things that could be the options that exist there, right? But of course, at the end of the day, what the average user to be able to go online or get an email or get an alert as many different ways so that they have an idea of where their passport has reached, where it is in the process.
Okay. Fair enough. And I guess the question follow on that to know that the email is legitimate, that it's a legitimate email, that it's not spam email or
official
phishing.
email. Well, that's well. But I try to follow the best practices. Right? I don't know if you saw my email.
I do.
I try to at least use, official website, that sort of thing.
Right.
One of the things that I also included was the right to unsubscribe.
Yeah.
To these messages and that sort of thing, right? Which is best practice again.
Just wondering about given the ebb and flow of the production process.
Exactly. So everything there's data driven, right? So the actual fields that you have to put in, what's the length of time to reach from stage 1 to stage 2, stage 3 to stage 4, or even for the entire process.
So that could be programmed.
You can put in a ballpark figure, and we use that to calculate the estimated
delivery time. I see.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Congratulations on being at this step, and we really appreciate that you took the time to show us not just the software, but you brought all your artifacts with you, and I think it made your point. So we thank you, and we wish you the very best.
Okay then. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's find out what our judges have to say.
That was very interesting. He really spoke to the heart of the immigration officer. That should make you smile.
Well, certainly I'm glad to know that someone put that level of thought into coming up with a solution that suits the needs of immigration at this time. Well thought out. I like the pitch. And again, bringing all those artifacts on display for us, talking about all his experimentations and all the trial and error that he had to go through to come to a near perfect result in terms, at least in at that prototype stage, if you will, for the type of information we want to see captured and brought forward at each stage of the elder process. So certainly glad to hear that. Also glad to see that he took some time to give data security some consideration, even if only on the front end of things.
High level, yes. He was quite technical. So I guess the question I would ask you is his pitch? Did he sell it to you?
He did sell it to me. He did sell it to me.
Once he sold it, so we have quite a bit to think about. We have to just in the context of all that has transpired so far, we would have to come up with our scores shortly.
Yes.
Okay, judges, now it's time to gather your thoughts and submit your scores.
I'm not a person who really likes to be in forefront of things. I normally want at the background do any work, so this was new for me. In terms of business, even though I'm a lecturer, right, I only took up lecturing because I have a aversion to public speaking and that sort of thing to help me to get over that loose fear. Well, it's over. All the hard work. It's now up to the judges to see what happened. I didn't really see this as work, right? I really enjoyed it, because I have a passion for programming, I have a passion for developing, I have a passion for problem solving. So this wasn't really work for me. I just want to keep on solving problems and developing.
So judges, we just saw 3 ingenious teams present their unique solutions to the Immigration Division challenge. And Okara, my background is in mechatronics, it's in electronics, and I was so excited to see a team actually brought on some hardware. That was exciting. Is there anything that stood out for you?
Well, to be honest, Daniel, I really want to hear from the judges. So judges, were there any innovations or unique approaches that you saw presented today? And I want to kind of feel the room here. So, Mr. Thomas, how do you feel about what you saw today?
Well, first and foremost, let me say that I'm quite delighted with the level of professionalism that came across in all of the challenges, all of the presentations, this afternoon. Special attention going towards the third presenter, who seemed to touch on all of the major considerations for immigration, attempting to respond to the challenge that we put forward to, for this effort. Basically it. I don't know what my colleagues have in mind.
Yeah. Firstly, let me say all three were good in terms of what is in terms of content. From a delivery perspective, they could have spoken up a little bit louder, paused, measured what they were saying, and understand that when they're delivering a message, they're not delivering it to their peers, they have to kind of, as you said, dumb it down a bit, bring it to that point. But overall, I mean, good presentations. They just need to be able to just now work on being able to market themselves, position and poise, raising their pitch, lowering it, and reading the room is one of the most important things. Because there was one presenter who kind of had his back to us at one point, and you always have to make sure that you're not losing persons in what you're saying. So to me, good attempt, and I applaud the fact that we have these young minds developing this sort of technology in Trinidad and Tobago.
Thanks so much for that, Mr. Subaru. Lisa Maria?
Well, we've seen it. I think the marriage between the technical and the simplistic was, stood out this evening. We had very, very simple, and then we had very technical. And I would say that what really we have to really appreciate and applaud, and we can't say it enough, that this talent is indigenous and it's here. And I believe that regardless of the outcome in terms of who gets the prize, they have already won, because we have seen them think about real life problems that not just affect the ministries but affect the average citizen in Trinidad and Tobago. So I say bravo.
I agree. Thanks so much, judges.
Yeah, and I think I know Mr. Thomas's answer on this one, but was there any particular contestant you felt really understood the challenge?
He showed his bias. He showed his bias up front. He showed his bias. I'm answering for you, Richard.
It's certainly the third presenter. Again, there's a level of technical knowledge and appreciation of some of the minutiae that go with addressing some of the challenges that we're dealing with, So we appreciate that, and bias or not, that's just
all right. Excellent. Judges, just to pick your brains a little bit here. If you were in the developer's shoes, what would you have done differently to perfect your solution?
Well, I think if I was given enough time to do so, maybe more of a full-blown demonstration, not perfect necessarily. But what we saw was a lot of still stuff at the proof of concept stage, understandable.
Yes.
But maybe more of the features in some of these web apps and so on could have been fleshed out to the point where we could see results, the specific, not just talk about a result, but see an actual result at the end of the process. And I thought the third presenter came closest to that type of ideal,
Correct.
Showing his bias a little bit again there.
I think he
might. Yes.
I think he might be. If I may, I would say I would be looking for unique value proposition. So somebody said it, that there are a couple of ways you can go, and what we saw was persons who had done their homework and so we had reasonable assurance, and as you can hear from the challenge owner, they definitely hit the nail on the head in some instances. But what I would say is that, wow me, tell me why you, and I think that's what was missing for me. Tell me why you. Because we're not just choosing a solution, we're choosing the talent and the skill that goes with it for the delivery. Because I'm already in execution mode. So wow we.
Well, why you, Danielle?
Mr. Subaru, I want to direct this one firstly to you.
Sure.
And Okara judges, we saw some very innovative solutions today, but dhub, the Developers Challenge itself, is an innovative solution to a problem that was developed by the Ministry of Digital Transformation. So, Mr. Subaru, do you think this is a good model for public-private partnership.
Yes, it is, because one, you're getting private sector involved to help solve real world, as Lisa said, real world problems that they themselves also face. Because coming from the private sector, when we have to interface with government institutions, we often found ourselves, butting our heads trying to understand why bureaucracy, why things take so long. So now that we're able to take initiatives like this and work with the government to be able to now say, hey, you've got a good solution. We want to work with you, and we can now be able to drive that innovation all the way through. We can now see ourselves going into a futuristic society, because that's the way creativity starts, right? When everyone works together, then you're able to solve the problem, because that's what you need to have right now. Yeah.
All right, judges, any final thoughts?
So keep on keeping on with the dhub challenge.
Yeah, keep on.
Move from strength to strength, right?
Yeah.
Thanks so much, judges. It was a pleasure having you guys here today. We saw these 3 amazing teams for the online passport application tracking solution by the the Immigration Division. It was excellent. We loved you guys. Thanks so much, and continue tuning in to the dhub challenge. There are more dhub challenges coming up.
Stay tuned to see local developers create cool tech solutions to Trinidad and Tobago's problems.
Become a member of the Developers Hub community. Go check out our website.
It is a great environment to learn in if you're new to coding.
And a solid platform for growth if you're more advanced.
Join us on the next dhub challenge,
where dreams are pitched
and fortunes will be made.
And the future of Trinidad and Tobago's tech landscape is shaped one solution at a time. On
the dhub challenge.